Oh, hello. Hey, Chris what?
Chris Goffman's wild.
He is wild. Is he in the chat? Nah. All right, we're live.
I'm like, you're like higher and I'm lower. I'm just like...
Yeah, I know, because you're sitting so low. Well, that's why you're sitting so low. Wait, let's see if I can get my chair down. Doesn't go down any further. Look how low you're sitting. Let's see if I can fix you. I'll see if I can fix you.
Oh, damn. I'm just going crazy.
No,
right now.
I'll just try and move you.
I reckon that's better. Is that better?
That's heaps better. All right. Welcome back to round 24 wrap up. Johnny makes an appearance. He's come back. First appearance of the new year. How are we, man?
Is this the first one?
Of the new year, I think, isn't it?
Damn.
We've only had like 2 shows. Well, because the Premier League had all the games were off, and there was FA Cup. We didn't do any podcasts. There's no footy. So it has to be your first.
What was with that? Is that a winter break now? Is that what happens?
Well, I went up to my dad and I said to my dad, I'm like, is there a winter break in the Premier League now? He goes, isn't there always one? I'm like, no. He's like, I'm like, I don't know what happened. They gave him 2 weeks off and they had FA Cup. So it was like, seemed like heaps off. I know we're Premier League centric a little bit. I know we're Premier League centric here, but what a match by Leverkusen, Frimpong, what a cameo, Barcelona, Granada this morning, a cracker. Well, I tell you what, the thing about that match that Genwell's talking about, I'll touch on it a little bit, is Bayer Leverkusen are undefeated in the Bundesliga. They beat Bayern Munich 3-0 with Xabi Alonso as coach. They're 5 points clear now, undefeated. It looks like Harry Kane may not win a trophy, eh?
That's hilarious.
Going to Bayern Munich.
Has anyone done the Invincibles in Germany?
I would imagine Bayern have. I'm not going to say they have, but I would imagine they have. Like it's pretty much a one fucking team league. But
well, Xabi's it's going to go to Liverpool, isn't he? It's just written on the wall, isn't it?
Well, that's what I said last week. I was like, if I was Chelsea and Poch loses, we'll talk about if he loses to Palace in the morning, I would sack him and go for Alonso just so Liverpool don't get him.
Xabi, he'll hold out for Liverpool though.
I think he will too. It's a shame because he's obviously a good coach because undefeated with Bayer Leverkusen and smashing Bayern Munich is pretty fair effort. So So yeah,
Well, thanks,
I don't
man.
know.
I'm back, man. I feel welcome. I feel welcome.
You're back. You're back, man.
Welcome.
It's well, like I said, we haven't had many shows. Johnny's back. I believe Johnny's back tomorrow as well on the footy show. So
I know
that's going to be a good one.
Do you have new pot plants? I reckon they're new pot plants.
I think Jess bought a few new ones. Yeah, she loves them. She goes and buys them. She gets full on with them and just okay. We've got too many. She's like, this one was crawling right, and she cut it off, put it in a pot, and the other one's bigger, like crawled bigger. It's like propagated it, and it's gone massive. It's crazy.
Pete's crazy, man.
Genwell says he could possibly go to Madrid if Carlo gets the sack before Liverpool. About Xabi. He could. He's an ex-Real Madrid player too, so maybe he holds out for that as well. And Rob says possibly Genwell. So I don't want Liverpool to get him because I was hoping that they'll take a bit of a dive since Klopp goes. So. But in saying that, it is written on the walls. But in saying that, there is one game left in the match week that we can talk about quickly. I dubbed it the sacking match last week. Crystal Palace, Chelsea. But Chelsea ended up doing good in the cup. I think if Palace lose, Roy Hodgson will get sacked. And I was saying if Chelsea lose, that I wouldn't feel good for Poch either. But what do you reckon is going to happen? Do you reckon Chelsea can back it up and win in the morning? It's at Palace.
Oh, I don't know, man. Both teams are so unpredictable this year. You know what I mean? So Palace has shown signs in patches, but obviously a team who are normally in the bottom 10 anyway. But Chelsea, you just don't know what you're going to get. So if I was a betting, I am a betting man. It's just I'll probably
I'm a betting man. I'm a betting man. So
I couldn't split the difference here. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know who to go for in this game.
The thing is about him, you watch Chelsea, it's like you see all these good players and then sometimes they're just shit. Like you think, how have they spent that much money? And like, I don't know, there's some players like Jackson, Gusto getting games when they've spent $1 billion. It's like unbelievable. But I don't know. I'm with
They're just
you.
rubbish, man. And I can't believe Pochettino doesn't have any pressure on him. So
not like Eric. Eric cops it.
One loss, it's all like Armageddon at Man United. But anyway.
Hey, but anyone who watched last week, obviously John didn't because it was his mum's 60th. But I did say, everyone said that we were going to cop it. And I said, United match up well against Villa. I said, I put your money on United. We'll talk about that a bit later. But I did say that. So, but let's look at the results, man. It brings us to the first game of the round. I think it was a given. I don't think anyone would have tipped Everton. It was Man City beat Everton 2-0 at the Etihad. City, they went back on top for that night, but I don't think anyone was going to tip Everton, were they?
Nah, man. I mean, look, you can't watch Man City play a bottom 10 team because it's boring. It's so boring. Unless you're a Man City fan, it's just as a neutral. It's like watching golf, man. It's boring to watch. Look, Man City, obviously they win. They're the favourites. Yeah, right. Hurrah for that. And
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was going for Everton but Man City, so that's what it is. They're just boring to watch.
Yeah, listen, like I agree. It was a pretty boring match. It was the first match of the round. Everton battled, but it just was never going to happen.
Luton and Sheffield United are more exciting than this game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. We got Luton next week, man. We're going to bash Luton next week.
But look, Man City, they're going to challenge Liverpool to the end. So, it is what it is,
Listen, I think it's between the three teams. I will obviously talk about them, but, Arsenal had that statement last week. They beat Liverpool, and now they smashed West Ham. It's obviously between them three teams, and I think they've all got to play each other. United, we've still got to go to City. Liverpool and Arsenal will be hoping that we can take points off them. I think they've both got to play. They've all got to play Villa, I think. Tottenham have got to still. So, there's games out there, but yeah, I agree. Boring. We'll go to the next one. Nottingham Forest at home lose to Newcastle. 3-2. Newcastle, they're just sticking around. United, it's upsetting me. I just want them to lose a few games. So it's like,
I thought Nottingham Forest would have had a chance here with Newcastle in a bit of a slump.
That's what I thought.
But I watched the highlights of this game. It looked like Newcastle deserved it. They had better chances. It looks like they got on top at the end of the match as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Nottingham Forest, man, I reckon they're going to drag themselves into a relegation battle. I haven't seen the table for a little while, but I guess they're not too far off. But
no, I think they're like 1 point above. Let's have a look. I'll look at it. And
then you got Newcastle, it was a must-win for Newcastle, really, to be in touch with Europe spots. I think top 4 is out of the question for Newcastle now.
I think so.
With the new setup, with the European setup, I'm not sure how it works, but they may get a spot somehow, conference. But I think they're getting any Champions League.
They're definitely fighting for conference and Europa. But so Nottingham Forest are 16th on 21 points, and Everton are 2 positions above Everton, who are on 19th. So it's like, I think anyone from Brentford who are on 25 down, it's Brentford, Palace, Forest, Luton, Everton, Burnley. I think Burnley, Sheffield United, they're gone. And then that one spot, I think, is between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. So, and Nottingham Forest definitely in that when they probably shouldn't be. But yeah, I agree. Big win for Newcastle. I read a few of the chats. Look, it was a good performance by Everton. Restricted City until the 70th minute to have a shot on target. Genwell says, yeah, I agree. But we know football's 90 minutes, isn't it? It's unfortunately they just wear you down. They're like, remember like we used to say about Nathan Buckley, like kill you with 1,000 cuts? That's Man City. It's just, and that's why it's boring. Like you said, it's not the best to watch. Must be nice having a nearly month off, City, Reeves says. So he's having a go at him, saying must be nice having that much time off.
119.
Yeah, well, that's what Genwell says. Must be nice to get away with 100 charges. Shit, everyone's having a go. I'm sure Rob's going to defend himself soon. Rob says, Haaland back, baby. 16 goals, 18 games. Can I tell you the funniest thing about Haaland? So, John knows, Jess is not into soccer at all, right? So
he's an overgrown baby face, man.
Okay. So listen. I'll tell you the funniest story. Jess is not into soccer at all, right? So the game comes on the other night, and Jess goes to me. She goes, "What's with that big guy's problem with the hair?" She goes, "He can't pull off a man bun." She goes, "He's got to cut his hair." And I go, "Yeah, that's the man child, Haaland." She goes, "He looks like a dork." And I'm just like cracking up laughing. I'm like, John calls him the man child. I go, he's like Benjamin Button. She goes, he is a man child. I go, he's like 6'5". We're just laughing. Jess knows nothing about it.
It's like he's been photoshopped in a meme or something.
It's I feel like he's like, like Almiron from Newcastle. They look like cartoon characters.
Yeah.
So just
Almiron's the biggest cartoon character.
Dude. He's like Power World, big time.
It's from Power.
Oh, yeah. Everton, Sheffield, and Burnley are down, Genwell says. So he's saying Everton will go down. Listen, I feel for them because they would be 10 points better off. Why have they been charged and City haven't? It's City. I'm
kind of rooting for Everton to stay up because I feel like they've been treated badly, and City are just like, we got the best lawyers and the money in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Rob says Haaland is an android. The secret's out. Yeah, listen, what I don't get about it is I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I don't know. It's obviously not the same thing, but why are they getting charged during a season and then they turn around and go, City is going to be looked at next year?
Well, it's weird because the Everton thing seemed like it came out of nowhere, and City's charges have been there for a while. So
exactly.
I don't know.
Well, Rob says, and Nottingham Forest may lose points too. Well, we know the owner of Olympiacos owns them, Maranakis, and he's not the cleanest guy in the world. So,
Well, FIFA Fair Play is really not, cracking down. That's why it was one of the quietest January windows we've seen with all clubs. So
yeah, but you know what?
FFP.
I like that. Like we were saying a couple of years ago, we're like, FFP, does it even exist? Doesn't do. At least they're doing something. Good on them. So,
and it's affecting our club, Man United. Like we can't really spend,
100%, 100%. And I always say this. Okay, that's why people don't want the Glazers to sell United, because United generate more money than any other football team. If they had no debt, they could buy whoever they want. And people know that. That's why they don't want, because they know they'll be dominant. So, but in saying that, we'll go to the next ones. Wolves. I was surprised with this one, man. Wolves losing at home to Brentford 2-0 after they put up a good game against United. Every time I've watched Wolves, they've looked wicked. But since Ivan Toney's been back at Brentford, they've been pretty good too.
That's the key thing, what you just said. Toney back at Brentford's really shapes them, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
You're right, man. Wolves have been on a good form, man. They've actually played some good football. Surprised me this year. I tipped them at the start of the year to be one of the three to go down. So they've really surprised me. And Toney's made the difference here.
I don't know. I don't know if you and Rob did our predictions. I don't know if I think at least two of us tipped them to go down. So
I know I did, yeah. So
yeah.
I'm wrong. I'll tell them.
So there you go. But listen, there's big talk about him. Like they're saying that, would you take him at United to help to play with Højlund, like rotate with him?
I don't know, man. Look, Højlund's scoring at the moment, so it's.
I know, but don't you think we need another? We need another striker at least. Martial's gone, obviously, we know that.
I would love like a Giroud type to go with him, a bit younger, he's a bit too old now, but someone that's not going to cost us 80 million and we can sort of 20 million and we can put into other places. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I would take Toney if it was like 40, 50 million. But if they said, we've got to pay 80, then...
Yeah, 80, north of 80 they're talking.
No,
so.
Then for me, it's a big no. But, Rob says Sebastian Haller. Yeah, well, he played for Eric, and he's just won the African Cup. He's at Dortmund. Every time he's played for Ten Hag, he's blitzed. But I reckon they'd want a lot of money for him, Dortmund, because Dortmund and Man United don't get along too well. So, but Rob says, I can accept City being punished like Rangers were, but Real Madrid, Chelsea and PSG are also just as guilty. So saying, I could take it, but punish these other big clubs as well. I agree with that. Johnny Marui, which is Johnny Carlton, says, hello, it's been ages, Johnny Carlton here. So I'm a big Chelsea fan. I've just been weird this year with my boys. One good performance, then 3 weeks in a row, just terrible. Big up, Johnny Carlton. How are you?
Johnny Carlton, what's going on, man? The Crows are going to be up this year, bro, and we'll get to that tomorrow night, so make sure you come on.
Listen,
I do believe Carlton are going to have a good year as well, but we'll get to that tomorrow.
and listen, in saying that, guys, we're not going to give the name away. I'm sure Chris will talk about it a bit tomorrow as well. We've got a huge interview next week with let's say, a staff member of an AFL club. It's going to be a big interview for HFD. John knows who it is and everything. It got teed up actually through through my dad. So we've got a massive interview coming on the 21st. You'll see it when it gets scheduled. That the football got brought up then. So I thought I'd bring that up. I'm sure Chris will talk about that a bit tomorrow as well. But back to the soccer, Chris C says, oh my God, Johnny Carlton. And he says, what's going on? All right, let's go to the next one. This one was a big one, man. We can talk about this a bit. I actually tipped them. It's great for Ange. 2-1 against Brighton. Big win. I know it's at home, but I think Tottenham I think they're the team I'm worried that we can't get fourth because of Tottenham, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Spurs, was it 2 late winners here for Spurs, or were they down?
Yeah, no, too late. They left it late, but...
Yeah, look, they really love playing for Ange, and, we've said it all year, they're a bit of the surprise team. We all thought they would struggle, mid-table, but we wouldn't think they'll be in the top 4 in this position at this time of the year. So, look, you're completely right. They may beat us at the post for the top 4, but, look, I'm hopeful with United. But, yeah, look, big applaudance for Ange. He's playing well. They're playing for him. Everyone's got a smile on their face, and it's a real feel-good factor at Tottenham. So,
yeah, no, I agree. So they were 1-0 down in the 17th minute to Pascal Gross penalty, And then Pape Sarr scored in the 61st minute and Brennan Johnson in the 96th minute. So and he scored. He's bagging goals for them. He did it the other week when that Morpay did that whole stupid celebration thing, and then he scored and he gave it back to him. So good on him.
Johnson's been a good pickup, man. He's played pretty well. So and that Pape Sarr's playing really well. So they're doing pretty good without Harry Kane, I must admit. So
I agree, and like we touched on before, man, the way it's going in Germany, Kane ain't going to win diddly, which is funny, man. So good on him. Go break all the records, and you're not going to win the shit.
Yeah, he goes to Bayern, doesn't win a cup. Oh my God.
Johnny Carlton says also because we smashed Villa, that's why you guys won. Listen, I think they're in bad form. They got thumped 4-0. They hadn't lost for 13 months at Villa Park. Then they lost 4-0 to Newcastle. They lost to Chelsea in the Cup, and then they've lost 3 games in 2 weeks when they hadn't lost there for 13 months.
Does Johnny Carlton go for Chelsea just because they're blue? Is that what it is?
He said on one of the other shows that he supports them. So I don't know. I'm going to go with just because they're blue, but
he goes for a march nemesis, man. Carlton,
I know, man.
Chelsea, man.
I know. And I told him once Kernahan stopped playing for Carlton, we hate them now. So, And Chris says, "Hey everyone." So, all right, that was good. Great, big up Tottenham. I think it's really good for them. I think it's positive stuff. Listen, I think Ange is one of the managers. When you look at it and you say which managers are in trouble. We're talking about Ten Hag. I think Pep or Klopp would have been if he didn't say he was going anywhere. Emery and Postecoglou, they're the ones, and probably Arteta, that their jobs are safe. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing for Ange.
Is there just fallen off the cliff a little bit, or I haven't tracked Brighton, but I'm not hearing that they're really doing well. I don't know. Like, what was their last few results? I think what Rob said is hit the nail on the head. I think the Europe thing, when it comes to those teams, like we even talk about it when we play Football Managers. When you're a little club and you get Europe, it's hard because you can't rotate, can you? How much can you rotate, So, and I think that's hurt them a bit. But also I think with these managers, people work out their game plans, don't they? And they find a way to play against them, etc. And who knows? Who knows? We'll see. But he's doing well too. But Eric Ten Hag all the way. No, Johnny says no. Was never into soccer. Best mate Chelsea, and watched a couple games, then fell in love with Chelsea. There you go. Well, you got to support somehow. Chris C's paying you out, man. He says, "Why does John look like a thumb?" That's not John. Jimmy T is the guy that looks like a thumb, not John. That made me self-conscious, man. Like, I got to step back and remember this. Jimmy T looks like a South Park character when he comes on, like Butters or something. He's like that close. Yeah, and Jimmy's face was like this too, like sideways. Yeah, so he looks like... What's our Kyle's brother in South Park? Squeak. He looks like is like that. Genwell says, "Man, when I play FM with a small club in Europe, first time I'm playing 811." FM's the best, man. Whoever plays FM is wild. Oh, yeah. I love how so many people love FM. It's hilarious. But, all right, there we go. Big win for Ange. Takes us on to Luton, Sheffield United. Listen, I wanted Luton to get the chocolates, but they didn't. They lose at home, which is a huge win for Sheffield United. I still don't think it'll keep them safe, but 3-1 away win against a team, in and around them. It's a huge result for Sheffield United. Yeah, I mean, Luton will look at this as, like they miss an opportunity here to really claw themselves out of the bottom 3. Look, Sheffield United, I saw the highlights of this, and I think they got the couple early goals, and Luton couldn't get back into it. So, big win, like you said, and it might not be enough in the long run, but Luton will feel like it's a missed opportunity in the end, really. So, should have got a result for Luton. Chris says, "I thought EPL doesn't have time off." I don't know. I think it's because there was a cup round, and I don't know if they've gave them a week off because of the whole World Cup thing. Listen, I'm not sure, but I imagine that's what it's for. There was a World Cup mid-year. There's a Euros coming up at the end of the year. The amount of football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, that these guys are going to be playing is just... It's ridiculous, really. So, But I agree. Don't know if it'll be enough for Sheffield United to stay up, but, big win.
Poor Luton. I want Luton to survive. Got a soft spot.
I know they're like the feel good story of the Premier League this year, like the little boys, you know.
But the thing is, we're playing them next week, and I want us to smash them. So
4-0.
Yeah, I agree with that. Rob says, remember they blew a 4-2 lead against Newcastle a week ago. So yeah, it's that's the one that's really going to hurt them. Those sort of things. But to the next one, another boring game. Liverpool 3-1 against Burnley. I'm just joking, Reeves. But
I find Liverpool more exciting to watch than Man City. But
I know I don't like saying it, but I like watching them because I like the way Klopp play. I like Klopp's football. Yeah,
I want them to lose, obviously. But look, 3-1. I mean, predicted result. The only big surprise is here is that Burnley got a goal, I guess. And I mean, Liverpool had some chances in this game. It could have been 4 or 5. But yeah, look, Liverpool, are they the favourites to win the Prem? Oh, I don't know, but they got Man City breathing down the neck. So if I had to pick, it'd still be Man City. But yeah, I mean, I think the Liverpool lads are going to fight tooth and nail to the end of the year for Klopp, being as he's announced his last year.
You know what? I remember the first time Sir Alex announced his retirement. I think it was 2006, maybe. United fell off a cliff. We were top and ended up finishing third or something. They just fell off a cliff. So I'm hoping the same happens to Liverpool. But I don't think it's going to. I think you're right. Nunes and Højlund gathering goal-scoring momentum for the clubs. Will be interesting. Yeah, there you go. You see Ipswich, the championship as well, with Kieran McKenna, man, are slipping down. Listen, Leicester and Southampton and Leeds, those 3 teams, you look at it, it's 3 teams that should be in the Premier League are in the championship. So it's hard for anyone to do anything against those 3 teams. They're big clubs, man, in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's
don't say things like that, Reeves says. Don't say things like that. Sorry, Reeves. But we're not really sorry, but Reeves is wild. Big win for Liverpool. Listen, I agree. I think City are still the favourites, but I always say you rather have the points on the board, which Liverpool do, because it's just one banana skin for City that could, mean they stay second at the moment. But
yeah,
Fulham is the next one. They smacked up Bournemouth 3-1. I think it's pretty predictable. At home, you'd think that they'd win. So I only watched the goals on this. I just watched the goals. I didn't watch any of this.
Yeah, so Fulham always pick up the odd win here and there, don't they? So who's the coach of Fulham, by the way?
Silva. Marco Silva.
Oh, the prodigy.
Remember they were like, he's the next Mourinho, and he got sacked by like six clubs.
I remember the hype of him, man.
And he got sacked by Everton, sacked by Watford, sacked by...
Who was that other one that everyone was talking about? The next Mourinho, you remember? He had like the curly hair, youngish guy.
Oh, Andre Villas-Boas.
Yeah, Villas-Boas.
Yeah. They were like, because he came from
Villas-Boas, you know what I mean?
Because he came from Porto, is all of a sudden the next Mourinho. It's like with Australia, when we had Gus Hiddink. We did that, went and got Pim Verbeek to be Australia manager. They're like, he's Dutch, he'll do as good as Gus Hiddink.
Just get a Dutch guy. But yeah, Fulham, I think they're safe, aren't they? They're in the mix down there, or we'll look at the table later. But it looks like they'll probably be safe.
I think they're safe, but
and Bournemouth, I wish they played this badly when they played us. So it's just how it happens.
Come to Old Trafford and spank us, and then.
Oh my God, they were like Barcelona at the time.
I know, it was Bournemouth Lona. They smacked us. But that takes us into the one we can talk a bit more about. It was a massive game. 3 wins on the trot for our beloved United. 2-1 at Villa Park, which I even thought a draw. I think before these 3 games came out, Wolves, West Ham, Villa away, I thought if they said to us, you got 7 points out of that, we would have been laughing. To come out with 9, I think Ten Hag is... Not only that, I think the fact that we haven't lost a game since Casemiro's been back, anyone that riding that guy off is showing listen, he's got a kid next to him that's got a bit of legs in him. Look how good Casemiro is. Like,
I mean, that midfield three now of Casemiro, Manu, and Bruno, I think that's great. It for the rest of the season. He ain't changing that. No. That's it. So it works, and he's got the experience, he's got the youth, he's got the creativity there. You know what I mean? So it's a really good mix of those three. So I'm really happy with that. And look, three wins on the trot for United, man. We were saying, what was the first win we got? Was it against West Ham? We played West Ham or Wolves first?
I think it was Wolves first away, and then West Ham.
I think we were saying, like, hopefully this is the turnaround. This is the starting point, and it has. These two, like you said, West Ham and obviously Villa as well, hard games. You know what I mean? Especially, we haven't beaten anyone away in the top. I can't remember the last time we beat someone in the top away. So look, it wasn't the most convincing win. I did watch it live.
It wasn't, but.
Aston Villa, if they were took their chances, they probably would have won this game. They had had some great opportunities, but you know what? You only take what you get, and I don't think we'd played too badly. The first 25 minutes, I thought we were the better team. It's only when we scored, we sat back. That's what happened.
Yeah,
and we invited the pressure, and finally, you could just sense the goal was coming from Villa. And
of course.
And Scooby-Doo McTominay comes on and
listen,
he gets the goal.
When it comes to any other facet of like midfield play, whatever, we all say he's not that good. But the one thing he's good at is arriving in the box, arriving late, arriving early, whatever it is, and scoring goals. And you can come on for the last 20 minutes and accept that that's your role. He's so good at it. It's, do Man City rely on a player to do that? No. Do Liverpool? No. But, whatever. He's so good at it.
I think he's a shadow striker. You know what I mean?
I agree. No, I totally agree. Because he doesn't have that
sneaky guy behind the striker. Yeah,
I agree. Because he doesn't have that know-how of a central midfielder. But someone to get you a goal, mate, he's really good at it. Rob says it's a shame about Martinez's injury. No, he's not a starter. I agree. I agree. I agree, Rob. Real shame about Martinez's injury. You know what I think hurt us last night too? The fact that Shaw went off.
Yeah, I mean, look, when Lindelof went to left back, it was very suspect, man. He looked fragile there, and he was making mistakes. He looked uncomfortable. He nearly gave the
that ball he gave away, man. Oh.
Man, no huge pressure. And by the way, on Onana, I believe it was one of his better games he's had for United.
Dude, he made two saves that were outlandish.
Saves. Yeah, so, I mean, the goal, we probably couldn't do much about but he did.
No way. He couldn't do nothing about the goal. And you know what? I loved it. That bloke celebrated in Onana's face. I don't know why. I don't know if they had beef behind him.
What was it? Like a little jiggle?
I don't know, but he went to run off and he stopped, came back. So he made it clear that he's doing it. He looked at Onana, went like that, like, oh yeah, I'm the man. Mate, fair. I don't care. I don't mind people doing that. But then when you don't win, you look like a dickhead, just like Morpay the other week. So,
yeah, he didn't Morpay.
Mate, if I was McTominay when I scored, I would have turned around running off like this. Straight away. But,
Look, I just want to shout out to Harry Maguire. I think he had a great game. He got man of the match, by the way. And
he did have a good game.
He's finally becoming a beast in corners. Like, they were going for him. They were directing, put it on Maguire's head, and somehow Maguire will get his head to it and cause chaos with his header. You know what I mean?
Well, we've been wanting him to do that for 4 years.
Yeah, so where was this been missing? You know what I mean? We wanted to crash the packs to get his head on the ball, and now he's finally doing it. And
I agree.
I'll tell you what, Delo, he's cemented that right back. There's no way Wan-Bissaka's getting that right back position.
No way. He's come of age, Delo. He's playing excellent.
100% come of age. You know what I mean? Yeah.
In Football Manager, he's got all those arrows up on the stats.
They're all dark green, man. They're all dark green.
He has come of age. listen, I agree. You know what thing is about Maguire is that I think Eric has trusted him this time. Both times, whatever, he's next to a good centre-back now. He's next to Varane or Martinez. When you're next to two, I don't care. All these people, they're all bagging Varane in England. Mate, he's a World Cup winner. He's won 4 Champions Leagues. This guy is one of the best centre-backs in the world. Because he plays for Man United, he's shit all of a sudden.
It just needs management. That's what it is.
That's right. And Ten Hag did it good, man. He managed him because then the fact that we lost Martinez, he didn't get injured. You know what I mean? So,
100%.
Listen, if Varane and Casemiro didn't play for United, they'd still be going on about how good these guys are. But because they play for us, as you know, they cop it. But, great players. And since they've been back in form, like you said, we've been looking the goods. But the other one we'll touch on is Højlund.
Yes.
Scored in 5 matches in a row. He's got 11 goals, I think, in all competitions now. He's coming a bit good, isn't he? I think he's working with Rashford and Garnacho, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony and Martial should take note. It just look hard work and persistent, goals will come. That's all that Højlund's done. Look, he wasn't getting looks. He wasn't getting balls to him, but he was running his socks off still. He was putting effort in every game, running down pressure. And look, now he's getting rewarded with the goals. So hats off to Højlund, and he's becoming my favourite player.
Oh, listen, he's good, man. And he's solid. You look at him for a kid. Like, I know it's funny saying, but like he's 20 years younger than us. Look, he's built, bro. He's solid, and that's good.
Not Højlund built, but he's.
No, he's not. But he's only a kid, man. And the other one that you said, who can take note of someone is Anthony. Look at Garnacho and realize you have 2 feet. Garnacho comes in, shoots on the left, crosses on the right. Anthony's not getting anywhere near that right wing. Unless Garnacho gets injured,
And he had a good game as well, Garnacho. He was running his socks off as well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Anthony's not getting anywhere near that right wing. And I think the fact that Højlund and Garnacho have been performing has eased a bit of the pressure on Rashford, and he's playing better. And I think them front three is working good. So, get to the new year and then go from there. But I'll read a few of these chats. Reborn says, Onana is a ragdoll. Why does he throw himself around so much? Well, you're a keeper. Why does he throw himself around?
I mean, I think the pressure of United keeper, it takes a while. Even when De Gea started, 100%. It took him a couple of years. So I think we'll judge Onana at the end of next season. So I'm reserving judgment for now.
Rob says, to save goals, that's what you're supposed to do. And then Genwu says, just make sure it's to his head for the assist, because when he tries to score, don't expect to score. I think he's talking about McTominay. And then Rube says, laugh my ass off, Rob. I don't know what it is. He's like on string, funny to watch. I agree. He's very awkward. Listen,
he seems that way.
Yeah. Listen. You got to accept him. We've got him now. You got to back him. No, listen, don't get me twisted. I think I said it to Alia. There's no way he's a better goalkeeper than De Gea, in my opinion. But it is what it is. You got to work with him. And if he can keep making saves like that, I think we got used to De Gea making these freakish saves that maybe other keepers don't, because he was an outlandish shot stopper. So this supports KP's comment months ago. Man United should have doubled down to support Ten Hag. Well, John said it too. It wasn't just me. I said, if I was Ineos, I said I would come in when all this talk was up, and I said I would give Ten Hag a contract, because then all these Sanchos, whatever, that were against him, they know, listen, the club have picked him, we're fucked. And I think they've done that. I think the club have done that. So, but John was saying that too. It wasn't just me. So
I'm definitely Ten Hag in, so don't worry about
100% Ten Hag in. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say everything he does is correct, because me and John talk about it every day. No manager gets everything right, but he knows what he's doing. You can tell. Yeah. That's what I think. But everyone's got to look at the injury list. That's right. What other manager has had to deal with the Ronaldo situation, Sancho situation? The Rashford thing, little things. So yeah, in saying that, great win for United. Me and John are happy. Final match that we can talk about. It was actually before the United game, but I believe it is the biggest win, or it's equaled the biggest win in a London derby. That's like, anyone, Wimbledon, Chelsea, Brentford, Arsenal, whatever, but it's equaled the biggest win, which I think was Chelsea beating Arsenal 6-0, but it's equaled it, so equaled the biggest win in a London derby. Arsenal trounced West Ham 6-0.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
I think they're just missing players. They're going through what we went through. They've got a lot of injuries now, West Ham, and their squad's not big enough. They're missing Paqueta. There's another centre midfielder. They bought Phillips, and he's been atrocious.
Yeah, he's been bad, hasn't he? I reckon Man City bought him just to get a homegrown player on their books. We'll spend 50 million just to get a HG on our group.
Well, I was watching the thing last night, and Paul Scholes made a real good point. He said, what you've all got to remember, he goes, he's been at City. He goes, he hasn't played, he goes, for like 3 years. He goes, he's not just going to hit the ground running. He goes, he hasn't done anything.
England.
I know. When you got Mainu, if I'm England, I said it last week. If I'm Southgate, Mainu, Rice, Bellingham, what a fucking midfield.
Would you take Manu? As a Man United fan, do you want him to take Manu to just give Manu a rest?
As a Man United fan, I don't want him to, but if I'm England, who else are you taking? Henderson, Phillips, Manu's. If you're an England fan, you want Manu, Bellingham, Rice. That's what I think. But he'll take Henderson. Southgate's a moron. He'll pick Jordan Henderson.
I mean, Bellingham's got that attacking threat, and you have...
That's what I mean. You gave him up number 10 and Rice and
yeah.
Manu. What a midfield
bad.
That would be.
Not
A
bad.
great midfield. But, so... Genwell says, haha, West Ham, I wanted them to get smashed. Moyes is a coward against big clubs, and he's overrated.
And speaking about Rice, I saw his goal, and wow,
that's what
goal. And
Reborn
he
just
didn't
said.
Celebrate. Got to credit, he didn't celebrate. He went like this. He just did that.
Well, that was like Richarlison last week. He scored 2 against Everton, didn't celebrate. So,
Yeah. I think half the crowd left at half time as well.
There you go. Salt in the wound, Reborn says. Rice scored a screamer. It is. Agree with Scholes. Phillips nowhere near match fit, Rob is saying. Yeah, that's right. Like Scholes said, he hasn't played for almost 3 years. He's not just going to get up and be good. So West Ham are ghosts against big clubs. The only thing I say is, Paul Scholes said this as well, is
true.
As a West Ham fan, what do you want? You know what David Moyes is, so don't expect him to play like Pep Guardiola. If you want someone to play like that, go hire a manager that does that. But last time they did that, they got Pellegrini, they almost got relegated. So you can't have everything, can you?
Moyes won the Conference Cup last year, so it's pretty big.
Exactly. He won them.
It's a European trophy, so yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
Embarrassment. It was embarrassment.
Was an embarrassing result. It's like 100%. It's like, you get thumped like that by a local, I won't bring up our one because I've erased that from the memory, but you get done by a derby, in a big result. It's embarrassing, isn't it? So, but in saying that, that's all the results done. We'll bring up a few fixtures, and like we do, we'll try and get some score lines out. So it starts on Saturday night with Liverpool away at Brentford. I reckon Brentford 2-0.
Is this Brentford at home?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
I reckon Ivan Toney is going to just manhandle Van Dijk. Everyone's saying he's the best Premier League defender of all time. I'm sorry, Reeves. That's the most farcical comment I've ever heard. Dude, John, please. The best Premier League defender. They're all saying it now.
Van Dijk. He's been good for 5 minutes.
But the thing is, he went to Liverpool at 28. So how can he be the best Premier League defender of all time when I'm not saying Rio Ferdinand is, but Rio Ferdinand was playing from the top level from 19 in the Premier League. Tony Adams captained a title in 3 different decades.
I mean, John Terry's probably better than Van Dijk.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. When you look at it like that, GT's laughing because I said it. Rob says Brentford 2, Liverpool 3. There you go. But I think it'll be 1-0.
I feel like there will be goals in that match. I feel like there will be goals.
I agree. I'm going to stick with it. Brentford 2-0.
Just hate Liverpool.
Just hate Liverpool. Listen. In all honesty, you'd expect Liverpool to go there and win. I'd expect them to go there and win, but it's one of those ones that anything could happen.
They're not easy.
Yeah, exactly. That takes us to Burnley at home to Arsenal. I'll tell you what, Burnley not in good form. Arsenal just beat Liverpool and trounced West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal are probably the most in form at the minute, when it comes to playing style and scoring. So I can 4-1 Arsenal.
4-1. Rob says 3-0. So you're both going for 3. Yeah, I agree. I reckon it could be 3-4-0. The next one, Fulham at home to Villa. So Villa aren't in that good form. Rob has said Fulham will beat Villa 3-0.
So Fulham are playing Villa at home?
At home, at Fulham's ground.
I think Fulham might get this one. I reckon Aston Villa are in a down spiral. I reckon because obviously we won, but they played all right. But against Chelsea in the Cup, they were really poor, man.
And they had their full team as well, their full team.
Yeah, they've lost quite a few now. So I reckon they're on a bit of a downtrend. And Fulham coming off a win, a bit of more confidence. I'm going 2-1 Fulham. 2-1
Fulham. See, I'm inclined to go the other way, like 2-1 Villa or something. But I do agree. I think it could be a draw. 2-2 or something. Newcastle at home to Bournemouth. Oh, man, I think Newcastle could smash them. Nah, that's Sunderland. I think Newcastle smash them. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've got to go Newcastle at home, I guess. Yeah. I'll put 1-0.
Rob has said Newcastle 5-1. Oh, my God.
Yeah, man, everyone's scoring goals this week. I've got to go.
Well, you know what?
I've got 1-0 Bournemouth. 1-0 Newcastle to beat Bournemouth.
Apparently, Pep disciples are these champagne football managers, Genwell says. What, like Mikel Arteta and that?
Well, even Postecoglou, didn't he say he's played football manager?
Yeah, he said, they said something about football manager. He goes, when I was first coming through at South Melbourne, he used to play football manager every night. What a legend. What a legend. All right. Nottingham Forest at home to West Ham.
Jeez, coming off a big loss like that. You don't know if they're going to bounce back, but...
Hard place to go, man, the City ground, like Nottingham Forest.
I reckon 0-0. I reckon both teams walk away at 1 point.
I reckon West Ham in a down. I reckon Nottingham Forest get them. They've only got Bowen to play up front. Mikel Antonio's injured. Paqueta's injured. They just can't even change it up. Like they can't even bring anyone on for Bowen if he's not doing something up front. Like I don't know. I just think Forest get him. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Spurs Wolves at Spurs.
I mean, you got to go Spurs, don't you? I reckon 3-1 Spurs.
Rob has said 4-2 Spurs. So everyone's gone goals, man.
Rob is very generous on the goals.
He's being generous on the goals. I think it's because he just thinks everyone's
7-6.
It's because he just thinks everyone's defending his shit. So next one is the big one. Man City Chelsea. Last time was 4-4, I believe, at Stamford Bridge, a couple of weeks ago. So,
gee, you just don't know what you're going to get, but you got to go with City at home, don't you?
You have to.
2-0 will be a boring game.
I don't know where I'm at the moment. I need City and Liverpool both to stop winning games. So Arsenal win the title because I do not want Liverpool City to win the title.
Come on, Chelsea, 1-0.
Come on, Chelsea. Oh, man. But listen, Arsenal are there. Hopefully they keep it up. But that takes us on to the next day. Sheffield United at home to Brighton. Sheffield United coming off a good win. Brighton losing to Tottenham. They're away again.
Brighton because they're a better team. But it's just one of those games where it doesn't surprise me if Sheffield United wins. So 2-1 Brighton at the moment. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Sheffield United gets something out of this game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm 100% with you on that. You just don't know. Then that was the results. Bring up fixtures. Then we got our game. Luton at home at Kenilworth Road to Manchester United. Go United, don't we? We never tip against United. 4-0. Has to be 4-0.
Where are we? Are we going to...
We're going
Luton?
there. Yeah.
Oof. You've got to go Man United.
GT said Luton 2-0. GT.
I'm going to go Man U 3-1. 3-1 Man United.
4-0, man. No, it's 4-0. I've tipped 4-0 every week.
Have you won 4-0 yet this year?
Never. I just say it every week.
After every win, it's treble and 4-0.
Exactly. I think midweek Europe games will cost West Ham, Villa, and Brighton, Rob is saying. I agree. They're just, those teams are not set up for Europe, unfortunately. So,
no, don't have the squad depth.
No. And then that takes us on to the last one. Everton versus Crystal Palace. Listen, after tomorrow's morning, could Crystal Palace be going there with a new manager? If they lose to Chelsea, it's conceivable that Roy gets the sack. Or then does he lose next week to Everton and get the sack? I don't know.
Would this be Roy's last job? How old is Roy?
76, I think.
Oh, it has to be. Look, I'm going to go 1-1 draw here.
1-1 draw. Listen, it depends what happens tomorrow. If Palace go and get done and they say sack Roy and an interim comes in, we know everyone lifts for the new manager. But if it's still Roy next week, going to Goodison Park, I just don't know until we see what happens tomorrow, really. But I'm just going to go with Everton for now. Zakal says, hi, KP, Johnny G, and everyone on the live chat. How you going, Zakal?
How are you, bro?
Kufal was appalling for West Ham, Genwell says. Yeah, listen, no one was good for them. That's the thing.
It's a night they want to forget, that's for sure.
100%. Rob is saying it'll be next week. Everton 3-0. Bye-bye, Roy. There you go. But
Ruthless Rob.
In saying that, we've touched on all the games. I believe the boys will be back tomorrow night with a footy podcast.
Yeah, footy's back, guys.
Footy's back. And then, like I said, the week after, guys, the Wednesday, you'll see it once it gets scheduled. We've got a huge guest star coming on the podcast, which is actually to do with footy. It's a person on the payroll of an AFL club. So that will be happening next week. Once it gets scheduled, you'll see who it is and everything. So
we're keeping it hush-hush, huh?
We're keeping the name hush-hush until we put it out, until we schedule it. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow and finalise the time and everything. And, so it's actually going to be a real big moment, I think, for HFD, having someone like that on. So it's Kane, everyone. The secret's out. Genwell says no. Not Kane.
He's outlandish, that Kane, man.
Okay. Well, Kane Corns is actually fighting Nathan Brown in Gather Round. They're having a boxing match.
Oh, really? Kane's pretty fit.
Yeah, but apparently Brown knows how to box, and Kane Corns has come out and said he reckons Brown's going to smash him. But
Brown's huge.
Nah, not Jonathan Brown, Nathan Brown.
The little Nathan Brown.
Yeah, the Richmond one, because they're both small.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought it was Jonathan Brown.
Jonathan Brown will kill him. And I think Dane Swan is fighting his teammate. What was the bloke with the blonde hair? Dale Thomas. That's all happening in Adelaide the week of Gather Round. But apparently, but the AFL are not endorsing it. They're not on board. They don't like it.
Yeah, of course they won't.
But it'll be funny. So Kenwell says, I want Kane versus Jonathan Brown.
That'll be
kill him.
That'll be knocked out.
Jonathan Brown is the guy's an animal, mate. So my granny is on the AFL payroll. She serves in the canteen. Well, listen, it could be Rob's granny then, but listen, it's going to be big, guys. We'll schedule it. We'll let you know. It's going to be real big. HFD also keep doing the good job with the food reviews, Zakal says. We will. You keep seeing them coming up on the Hunky Food Dudes, guys. If you haven't seen that, check it out. But any last words, Johnny?
Man, up and about, and watch out for Tottenham. We're going to take that fourth spot off you, man.
It's actually good that we're, not that we're winning. I think everyone thinks this about their team, that, like that picture the other week, the youngsters, we had Rashford scoring goals, McTominay scoring goals from the youth, Mainu from the youth, Hoyland is 21, Garnacho from the youth. That's what makes me so happy about watching them. So,
future's bright.
The Asian Cup was rigged, Genwell reckons. Yeah, well, Australia didn't win, so it was rigged. It was.
So was the AFCONs. That's probably even more
100%. 100%. But thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. Thanks for coming in. It's been a real good night. And you guys will see Johnny, the big man. And I don't know, is Childer coming on as well? I'm not sure. King of the North.
But we'll be back next Monday again.
We'll be back next Monday for the Premier League and then the interview on Wednesday. But so shows coming up everywhere, guys. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
See you later.